That's old.
Yeah.
That's old, bro. I've been hearing that question since the 90s. What features you got? What producer you working with? And back in the days, it made sense because it was like, well, if I'm Biggie, maybe I could tap into this Wu-Tang audience if I get Method Man. It's another fan base that I guess there's some East Coast fan base, I can get this. And it ain't relevant no more. It's like, I built my own fan base.
Yeah.
I don't want yours.
Yeah.
So by the time I finished the album, that old question creeped up. Like, ain't nobody on the album. And the more I think about it, I want to keep it like that. Like, on this album, on this story, I didn't need nobody else's perspective, you know, because I was writing it all. Not to say I ain't gonna never feature with nobody. I'm looking forward to that.
Have you ever noticed how the limitations that we put on artists like 21 Savage sort of stay with these people even when they have features? Like, we sort of just accept for whatever reason because we've stuffed 21 Savage into the trap rapper box, and he's kind of accepted the fact that he can't compete or shouldn't compete with J. Cole on a song. Everybody's so taken aback by J. Cole's verse, and I am not surprised. J. Cole has all the talent in the world, and many of the things that he's saying on this song are very true, and I'll get to a specific thing that he said on the record and why he should be confronted over it. But I think it's very interesting how 21 Savage is just, he has a limit, and not just him, but just anybody who would be of his ilk, I guess, and would feature somebody like a J. Cole on the song. And he allows J. Cole to sort of operate independently on his song and take up real estate on his song and say whatever it is that he wants and not contend with it at all. The way J. Cole looks at a feature, I think it's very different from everyone else because he, like I showed you in the clip, he doesn't see a feature as a traditional benefit, some way for you to extract somebody else's fan base because you're different and they're different. And obviously with the internet, there's no sense of region. It doesn't matter if this person's from Carolina and this person's from Florida and this person's from New York. Everybody's fan base is sort of just, it's a mix because everything is streamed and online. So the only reason why he would deem it necessary to have somebody on a record is for a change of perspective or a need of perspective, on his own album. But he is not shy at all about coming on your song and speaking very boastfully on that track. He simply has to be confronted for the streaming claim that he made. I have to tell you, there's when Rick Ross was exposed for being a corrections officer, it was a different kind of a bombshell because it sort of reveals he did this, so this means he's not authentic, he's not a crime lord. But I think by the time that was revealed, everybody sort of already knew that being a rapper is a career move. So if somebody had a shift in their life where they just decided to pursue something, rap was already commodified at that point. It's already commercial. It's already out there. So individually, yes, it's a stain on who Rick Ross was, but it's just really an individual sort of attack. When Drake gets exposed for the ghostwriting, it's a big deal, and a lot of purists walk away and they want nothing to do with him. But we can then have a conversation about what pop music is, and is Drake more of a pop artist because he attempts to compete with other people in other lanes and he creates other people's styles. So it's not really a surprise that Drake would sort of be a chameleon. Well, rather, because he is a chameleon, he's able to do that because he has other people penning his songs. Now, both of those things that were exposed were very important and are very important to rap fans. Well, some rap fans. Most, casual listeners really don't care. But if you accuse somebody of streaming and getting their views from machines, that's a very serious accusation because it's almost like voter fraud. You're trying to buy respectability, and this generation takes that very seriously. If J. Cole had attached a name to that claim, then he could be a smoking gun. So he has to be confronted about that because there is somebody that he is implying whose numbers are artificial and are made up. It's that, and it's just the bravado, which which, let me be perfectly clear, means that J. Cole's verse was phenomenal. It's a phenomenal feature, but it's gotten to the point where something has to give. I've always felt that about Cole. I've always felt that he has all the writing ability in the world, and he's made some great songs. I don't know if I can honestly say he's put together an album that I've considered to be a classic, certainly solid pieces of work. But he's definitely created several songs that are, that are very well written, and he did a great job. So I know what he's capable of on that front. But if you're featured on a song and you're sort of getting a bit meta because you're bragging about a feature while being on a feature, understanding that we were going to talk about just how good you were on the feature and how people are afraid to be featured with you, then I think we need to have a conversation about how much you're stretching your abilities and how much you're really challenging yourself. Let's not pretend like Black Friday doesn't exist. Cole also on the song said, "I'm batting 1,000." Let's not forget that Black Friday exists. You are not batting 1,000. Maybe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of, 900 and something, or 85% or something. But because that record was evidence of whether Cole didn't approach it with the same aggression as Kendrick. I'm not sure what sort of a space he was in or what he thought he was getting himself into. There's no doubt in my mind that Kendrick outshined Cole by a mile. It wasn't even close. It's not even a conversation about Renegade, Jay-Z, and Eminem. Is it really close? Because in my mind, it was very, very close. So it's different. So let's not pretend like Black Friday doesn't exist. Cole has to be confronted, and I'm sorry to be so repetitious with it because this is simply what has to happen. We can't continue to just accept the fact that Cole can just come in and out, sort of, come with his own philosophy about what a feature is, and he's very arrogant when it comes to having people on his album, but he has no problem coming on your song and reminding you how he stole the show from you. It only makes it perfectly clear to me that in 2019 something has to be said about this verse, or this verse has to be referenced in some way, shape, or form. There just has to be something else that comes of this. What do you guys think about J. Cole's feature? What do you think about his ability to just maneuver in and out of people's songs and walk away unscathed and make tracks like 1985, and all of a sudden it's not really a diss record, it's something different? Like, J. Cole just seems to be above competition, even though he seems to be very competitive. What do you guys think? I want to know. Please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time.